Twitter page, which is always good. Okay, time for us to kick in. Ready, Bo? Hello, and welcome to the first ever episode, there it is, of Happening. You a drink, Guy Montgomery?
Well, cheers in honour of the current...
Oh, you can't clink glasses?
You can't clink glasses, surely not in this day and age. Thanks, Tim. It's so great to be here in your garage. You've built a television studio.
Yeah.
You have genuinely jimmied up.
Check this shit out.
That's right. You got cameras. You got a switcher. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, we've got a video switcher going on here. We got, I think we've got Chirons you can follow. Guy Montgomery there.
Very impressive.
Later, I mean, you got me. What's up, everybody? You can even. It's a bit of us.
Do?
Well, look, later on, Guy Montgomery. This is the fucking thing. We're gonna be taking some calls. I think there we go.
That's great. That's like what they have on the news.
Yeah, man.
But this isn't the news at all. What is this?
This is happening. So this is a response to circumstances outside of our control, which ended the next 3 years of our 3 months of our professional lives, where everything was canned. It got shit canned in its totality, and we needed to figure out some other shit to do because there were no comedy festivals happening.
And you did that pretty quickly.
I got drunk for one day, and I wrote a big sob story article on Metro Magazine, the local rag.
I thought that was quite well written, actually.
Thank you.
And I don't just throw compliments around.
And then
I withhold them, so I maintain power in our relationship.
That's cool, baby. Whatever you got to do. By the way, speaking of power in our relationship, powerful choice of outfit.
You told me you were wearing a dressing gown. I knew
Yeah.
exactly what to do.
Fantastic. So for those of who are joining us, who might be new around here, Monty and I are old mates. Look at this shining fucking face.
Yeah.
Monty and I have known each other for many years. We used to work together on a TV show that Guy hosted ages ago.
And how the tables have turned.
Yeah.
Now I'm visiting you in your garage instead of you visiting me in the atrium of TVNZ, New Zealand's public broadcaster.
Exactly. Anyway.
From that, what did we do?
Oh, from that we did the worst idea of it. So there, I was reviewing toilets on there, much to your chagrin. Now, we're most famous for being a duo who watch bad movies over and over again. All of these posters on the worst idea of all time
Do you
podcast.
know, I've worked so hard, not to shake that off my tail, but
Yeah.
just to be independently more successful
I hear you.
than the podcast.
Just to have something else to hang your hat on, eh?
And try as I might, I simply cannot outrun the thing.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. It is slightly depressing too, isn't it? You know. Hey, by the way, Matt Gibbs in the house. He's a trusted friend from the old TVNZ days.
Well, yeah, Matt Gibb was actually a huge helping hand in the aforementioned TVNZ show.
Fuck yeah, legend.
This is you're operating on a very similar rig. You've got a what do you call that?
What, this video switcher?
A video switcher.
Yep.
3 cameras.
Yep.
This
We've
is
got some other shit too. We got Chirons. We've been through that.
yeah. You've got the Chirons. And so this show was your response to everyone being locked down and sort of self-isolating. You'll note that Tim and I are maintaining a 1 metre distance.
Yes.
I refuse to cheers his glass. And there are open submissions for this program on Happening Show.
Mm-hmm.
If you email, this is happeningshow@gmail.com. It could be anything. It could be a video of you performing a poem. It could just be a poem you want one of us to read. It can go live on the show. And there have been some people have sent us some pretty impressive pre-recorded bits of content.
We've got some cool stuff
that will
already,
be shared
folks.
with you today.
We very much appreciate you sending that stuff in. It's good stuff.
That's right. And also to drive the conversation, have something to defer back to. We've set up a poll
Oh yeah, of course.
on the Happening
The
Twitter,
poll.
which is at happening_show. And Tim created the poll, and it's a great poll. The question is, what does the world need now? And you can either vote for love or to imagine all the people. What do you think the world needs right now, Tim?
It's definitely not to imagine all the people based on a another poll that's been happening recently
I think
on
that
Instagram.
that's a classic case of mixing the message and the messenger. I think the sentiment is good. If we all just took the time out of our current climate and situation to imagine, not some of the people, Tim. I think that's what a lot of people got lost in that message. You've got to imagine all of the people. Not
So
just
not
the people
just
condescendingly
Gal
ferrying the
Gadot,
message. Yeah.
Not
You've got to
just
imagine
Mark Ruffalo.
You've got to imagine the servers that lived in their houses who have since been released so that these celebrities can self-isolate in peace.
Yeah, you're probably right. I really thought I could get this working on the fly, but the Twitter poll does exist.
It does exist, and we've had 84 votes. Currently, 57.1% of people think the world currently needs to imagine all the people. 42.9% agree with the great Burt Bacharach and say that what the world needs now is love. If you do vote on the poll, please include your reasoning in a comment beneath it.
But for
This is a very exciting time for us as well, as we have no idea. I mean, as you can tell, I'm doing nothing. Tim is operating the entirety of this thing.
Mate, you're holding the show together. You fucking kidding me, dude? Guy's getting this done, which is why he gets a Chiron. Oh, shit. This is going to be the show, by the way, folks. It's going to be us, figuring this shit out. There's a few technical things. We got some treats planned for you guys, though. We got a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah,
happening.
Absolutely.
We're living up to the name.
And
apparently we've got a bit of audio phasing going on. Who knows how to fix that? Not me.
Who wrote that?
That's for sure.
Who's sending in these problems?
A helpful person called Cameron. This is what you need.
No. Cameron, how about you try sending in a fucking solution for once in your life?
Nah, come on, man.
Stop identifying issues with this rig, huh? How about you say you got a phaser problem? I suggest I talking quieter. Well, I don't even know what a phaser is. That really gets me.
No, look, we've got a lot of shit coming up. We're not even sure if we're going to stay on Facebook, and we're keen to hear from people on there. So we're on Facebook tonight because I asked everyone if we should go on YouTube, and they said yes, you should go on YouTube. And I said cool. So then about 6 hours ago, I was like, right, I'll just go flick the switch to test the live stream. They were like, fuck you. You got to ask us a day and a night ago. You got to get 24 hours notice in.
Do you know, outside of the context of you wanting immediate gratification from YouTube, that system makes sense?
Yeah.
Otherwise,
you're not wrong.
There's got to be a verification process.
Of
it's not like buying a gun in America, Tim.
They've
got to make sure that it's a normal person doing a normal thing.
So the main why are we here? I'm so glad you asked, Guy. Maybe 10 minutes ago, and I forgot to answer it. It's because I think, related to the Twitter poll, what the world needs now is a bit of a fucking distraction. So we're two silly buggers. You know what? We're not scientists or medical professionals, so we will not be giving you advice on those two things. We'll be giving you some silly nonsense online because that is what the boys do well.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I am happy to give out any scientific advice. Any questions, fire them in on the Facebook Live, and I'll do my best to get to those. Also, medical questions. If you've got anything that's bothering you with your body, I read Why Is This Happening to Me when I was 11 years old. One of my parents left that puberty book on the edge of a table.
Yeah.
No one said anything about it. I just found it, picked it up, went into the garage, read it, saw a pretty graphic cartoon drawing of a stiffy.
Yeah.
Gave myself a stiffy.
Wow.
Put the book back. That's the end of the story. So I'm ready to go. Any medical questions?
Hold on. I don't know if
send them my way.
There might be the beginning of the story.
I'm good to go.
I've just had a warning about my bow-legged or cross-legged stance while wearing a dressing gown.
You got undies on underneath
I've got them on. I just checked that I'm pretty sure they're kosher. I think we're good to go.
There's
some underwear that I've held on to for too long.
Those undies?
Not these particular ones, but there's like two pairs in my rotate.
Everyone has it. A rotate and B rotate. Once I went to do, funnily enough, a comedy festival in Melbourne for a month, and the morning I left, I'd had all of my underpants in a smart dryer by Samsung, and this dryer was so smart it locked me out, and so I flew to Australia in.
What do you mean? Hold on.
Raw dog in a pair of jeans.
Hold on, Cowboy. What do you mean it locked you out?
This machine was so smart, I couldn't figure out how to. It was like it shut down in the middle of a load of drying or something. Anyway,
that's good.
I'm on this side of the wall. The undies are on the other side of the wall. I went to Australia with 0 pairs of undies. I went to a store. I bought 12 brand spanking new A-game pairs of undies. I cannot tell you how incredible it feels to go from like having sort of 2 in A rotate, 5 pretty janky pairs in B rotate, and then just the fucking dregs of the underpants society who you fall on regularly to just have nothing but top shelf underpants.
Isn't it amazing that for so little money you could change your entire life by just going undies? I'm getting some new troops in here.
What's stopping you?
I don't know. Something. It's that value proposition of like, well, I've got them already. They're doing a job, so I can't bring myself. Because realistically, how many pairs do you think you need?
Of underpants?
Yeah, like total.
7 minimum.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say slightly. I would say to be comfy, 10,
My
11.
dream is to have 10 t-shirts, 2 pairs of trousers, 10 pairs of undies, 10 pairs of socks, 2 sweaters, 2 pairs of shoes. If I could reduce my wardrobe to that, I'd be fucking cruising. And a pair of shorts.
Man.
And some togs.
So,
and obviously exercise gear.
What's the time now? We've got a bit to get through on the show. We've got some lovely segments that people have sent in. And look, actually, I poo-pooed you before when you said that we were going to shout out some of the people who have assisted this early on the show, but we actually fucking should because they're legends. So there's basically for the last 3 days, I've just been building this little studio in the garage, and meanwhile bossing people around online to give me music and make graphics and that sort of thing, and get together and create some content. So shout outs, Hadley Donaldson,
Absolutely.
the man. Who
www.hadleydonaldson.com.
I'll make you Chiron, bro. And I'll get it not right. I'll get it real soon for you.
Chirons are not a currency, Tim.
Yeah, they are. Lower third, man. They're worth a lot. What else we got?
How long have you spent working on those Chirons?
Strawn Cole, my man.
Absolutely. At Hip Hiker on social media. He designed these two eyesore posters back here. Exactly to brief.
I would get you a close-up, but it's literally just us here. There's no camera operator.
Yeah.
It's just us.
Two boys in a garage.
So no, hold your screen right in front of your face in that particular part of the screen.
Also, credit to Disaster Radio,
Hell
Luke
yeah.
Rowell,
and AKA Eyeliner.
That's right. And Thomas Cottle.
Yeah.
But that's enough about that. Look, Tim, I want to get straight down to the nuts and bolts of life as it currently is. And a lot of people have been asking me for nutrition advice. Obviously, I've got a background in science and medicine.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of people have been wondering, how can they look after themselves, how can they look after their bodies while they are either self-isolating or totally quarantined. And it's pretty simple, you know. The grocery store is always going to remain open, and eating healthy, it's really as simple as A through Z. And so what I've worked out for everyone here is Guy Montgomery's Guide to Healthy Eating A through Z. And I just got to get it up for you. And so this is pretty much a guide just for anyone who's got any questions. They don't really know what they should be eating more or less of. I've got all of the best foods, beginning with different letters of the alphabet, A through Z. So I've got them here. If you're ready, I'm just gonna go through these. Feel free to pitch in with your thoughts in the comment section as I do. Now, so we're going to be looking at to buy as A is for avocado, a superfood and a super food. B. Well, now B is for Brussels sprouts. You know, the comeback story of the decade, really, Tim, isn't it? Time was, people detested Brussels sprouts. They were your go-to veggie to shit on as a child. But now, you see, you know, people charge $12 for a bowl of them in a fucking public space. It's crazy. C is for corn. I don't know why we continue to eat so much corn, you know, in the face of the overwhelming body of evidence that we simply cannot digest the stuff. But you know, corn's got bigger plans than being eaten by us. When you look into a toilet bowl and corn looks back at you, as if to say, don't you dare flush that fucking toilet. Me, nuts and seeds have got big plans. We're going to change the world. Now, D is for dried apricots. A lot of my apricot heads would have been pretty upset that they didn't get the nod over avocados for A, so I've snuck them in on a technicality for you there. E is for egg. Have a lovely egg. Great source of high-quality protein. Now, F is for fried egg. That's right. G is for guava. It's a fun fruit to say and a lovely fruit to eat. Now, H is for hard-boiled egg. Boil them eggs. I is for ice cream. You've been eating so well so far. Have yourself a treat. Have a lovely treat. J is for jalapenos. Doesn't start with an H. It's a Spanish sound. K is for kidney beans. Not my favorite beans, but they do start with a K. Now, L is for lemon. Not really a main, but a fantastic garnish. Treat yourself. Put a bit of colour on the plate. Put a bit of citrus on your palate. M is for, maybe it's time for an egg. N is for, no thanks. I've just had 3 eggs. O is for, all right then. No, I will have another egg. No, not an omelette, thank you. Just an egg. Now, P is for pear. Pears are like a fancy... I actually don't know why I put that on the... Pears, I don't trust the mouthfeel of a pear. I fucking hate them, to be completely honest with you. Q is for quiche. You make yourself sick if you have too many eggs. R is for rice. Rice is great. Cheap, staple, fantastic. S is for soft-boiled egg. Why should hard-boiled eggs have all the fun? Let that yolk run, baby. Now, T is for tomatoes. Tomatoes are my favourite vegetable, and I don't want to hear anything else about it. U is for unsalted nuts. Nuts are great for you. It's the salt that'll get you. A handful of nuts that'll give you essential oils, but a handful of salt's gonna it's gonna make you pretty sick. Now, V is for veggies. You got to eat your veggies, and if you are having veggies, why not try a tomato? My favorite vegetable. W is for water, not a food, but undeniably a drink. X is for eggs.
Fuck me, dude.
Y is for why not have another egg? And Z is for Zodiac, as in Scott Morrison is the Zodiac Killer. So if you're heading down the grocery store, it's a pretty comprehensive list. But give it a go. Were you just seeing if that worked?
Yeah, I don't think anyone else could see that but us. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Or maybe, though, I don't know. We're fucking shit up. But there was... Can we get a round of applause for a guy that was tremendous? If I had, like, some sound...
Who's applauding?
Oh, no, it did go live. I've got the... Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's okay.
No, it's okay. It's a little tease for what's up next.
Hey,
Monty, sound advice there. Thank you.
Yeah, well, no worries. Just write them down. I'm pretty sure Facebook will store this video after the fact, so if I blitz through them a little too quickly for you, never to worry. You'll get your chance to write them all down and, have a lovely shop. But don't buy too much. Don't panic buy.
Now, one of the benefits of having an infrastructure like this hosting, and really this is the whole point, is we want you to send stuff in. This is really just about us being able to host everyone else's art and showcase what's on offer around the world, creativity. People have a little bit more spare time on their hands currently, so...
You're telling me, my man.
So we've managed to connect with some of our favourite comedians who've already set some stuff in for the first episode of Happening, and we're going to do our first ever little pre-prepared segment, courtesy of Sanjay Patel. Shout out to Stephen Lyons, who did the graphics on this bad boy, and of course Disaster Radio /Eyeliner, who did the music. Here is Bottom Gear.
It's called the Sprinter, but it's certainly no Usain Bolt. One of the advantages of the Toyota Sprinter is that its peeling paint disguises the bird shit that's fallen upon it, so no one knows whether it's bird crap or it's just paint peeling. And as you can see, this is one of the best rides you can get. Take you from point A to B. You don't want anyone from between those points knowing you drive the car, but it does what it needs to. It sprints all the way to where you need to go. The Sprinter. This 1997 Toyota Sprinter comes with a steering wheel. That's always helpful. It doesn't have a rev meter, so you don't know if you're redlining the car, which is a bit annoying. It's got enough room to chuck your rubbish in, and it's also got a cassette player, even though no one on this planet has cassettes anymore. But back in 97 they did. So there's space for a passenger, which is helpful. And this isn't manual transmission, it's automatic transmission, so that's one step away from being a driverless car. So these Japanese are ahead of their time, as they always are. And not just room for passenger, there is also space at the back for up to 3 people, or just one person lying down along the back. The 1997 Toyota Sprinter. Toyota Sprinter can go from 0 to 100 in, well, I don't know, because my driveway isn't long enough to assess that. As well as the ability to go forwards, this car can also reverse. Remarkable.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Someone's written, it sounds like Sanjay was in a bottle towards the end of that.
Oh, that was me. Sorry, guys.
That's okay.
I'm pressing buttons and stuff trying to
You
fix
were,
the audio thing.
while everyone is at home relaxing, watching Sanjay's fantastic segment, Bottom Gear, Tim was pushing pretty much every button at his disposal, which is over 100 buttons, you guys. So thank you.
I literally have 2 separate keyboards, and it doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
Fine.
But a huge thank you to Sanjay Patel for that. If you can follow him on Twitter at SPAT106. That's SPAT106. He is responsible for some of the best and otherwise some perfectly okay tweets. So give him a follow if that is a platform you like to engage with.
What's Sanjay's handle again?
Oh, yeah, you're going to give him...
This is important.
SPAT106. It's really important. Now, Tim...
Yeah.
that's really nice. I actually have a segment I'd like to do now because it would be remiss of us to have this great opportunity to be broadcasting live and have this television shoot, all this technology and all this information, and not to do something with the news.
Oh, you want to talk about what's happening in the world at the moment?
If that's okay with you.
One moment, my man.
That's right. Every week in Auckland, New Zealand, I'm sure to pick up a copy of the Coffee News, entirely free. It's a fantastic paper, and it's pretty up to the minute with what is happening. One of my favourite segments is this one on the front. It's sort of the headline segment. It's front page news review. It's called Everybody's Talking, and I've picked this up on the tail end of the week, ending March 22. This is published on the 16th of March.
Like how you said that, 22.
2020.
2 for 22.
And so this is, according to the Coffee News, this is what everybody's talking about in the world right now. Well, the headline for this is Old Styles. And a young man from Brighton in England, Tim, has eschewed modern dress in favour of the styles worn in the Regency era of the early 1800s. Wouldn't you know about this? Luckily, Zach Pinsent is also a tailor by trade, so he can make many of his clothing items. Pinsent realised he loved the old style of dress when his family found a trunk containing his great-grandfather's clothes. Isn't that interesting?
It is.
He now makes his own clothing items, which range from riding jackets to waistcoats and three-piece gentlemen's suits. Word about his talent got around, and now Pinsent takes orders from around the world for period clothing. So that is something that, in my experience, everybody is really talking about at the moment.
Yeah, no one can stop talking about it. It's the talk of the town.
You know, you wouldn't want to miss that. Do you want more? I've got some other options for you.
Fuck yeah,
this
man.
paper's got a cover. Do you want more about what everybody's talking about? Would you like to hear?
Give me my horoscope, man.
What are you?
I'm a Leo. How dare you? You know that. You cad.
Tim, it says you may need to speak your mind.
Mm-hmm. Ain't that the
Others
truth?
might sing your praises and help you promote your cause. Recognize the power you possess within yourself. I'm going to be honest with you, though. My favourite segment in the Coffee News is actually on the lighter side. They're not brave enough to call it jokes because what they print barely register as jokes. This is sort of like a print version of the Twitter account Kids Write Jokes. So I'm going to perform 5 of these now, and all I'm aiming for, Tim, from you is one solitary laugh. I want you to be honest in your response.
Okay. Let's go to the wide.
Well, this is pretty topical, actually. You know this? I hear exercise kills germs. Seems silly. I mean, how do you get a germ to exercise? Stoic. I thought that was pretty good. Riddle me this, Tim. When travelling at the speed of sound, can you still hear the radio?
Is that like a riddle or?
How did he get an A in his philosophy class? How did he get an A in his philosophy class? He proved his teacher didn't exist. This is good stuff. 2 more. You know you're drinking too much
I
coffee.
didn't know about that last one. That was pretty bad.
They're all good. They're all verified. You know you're drinking too much coffee when you walk 20 kilometres on your treadmill before you realise it's not plugged in.
I don't know, man. This feels like this is tanking.
The trouble with lying around doing nothing is that you're never sure when you're finished. And so a huge thanks to the Coffee News. I'll be going back to this throughout the show. Some really good stuff in there. And also, it's never too late to advertise in the Coffee News. What do you say it costs?
I was trying to remember last year. I put an ad in. It was about $120. But I think I got in a couple because they're very regionalised. Did you know that?
That means that whoever prints the Coffee News is making an absolute mint. Because there are 7 ads on either side of this, so that's 14. That's 28 ads at $120 a pop. You're printing this every week.
$1 million? $2 million?
It's fucking crazy.
It's a lot of
Anyway,
money.
that's the news.
Probably should have turned my phone on silent. I guess.
You're right, mate.
So what is next in our
Well, what we had scheduled,
legacy of-
and this would be a great call to action for Eli Mathewson if he's on the line.
I don't think he's watching. But I'll tell you what we can do. We can get a Chiron up here.
This guy loves Chirons.
But the thing is, now I've got to figure that, because I thought I cracked this audio thing, but now I'm thinking I haven't because people are commenting on the echoey. So let's do a tech experiment live. Everyone's favorite thing to do on a streaming show. It's like that funny thing that everyone's saying about Zoom calls at the moment and having to do like tally meetings.
So we're
the first 20 minutes get occupied with, can you hear me? I can hear you, Greg. Greg, is your microphone on?
It's
Greg,
a classic bit.
turn your microphone on.
So we're going to wait in the studio here,
Oh, Eli's here.
and we're going to take a Skype call live from Eli. Well, this is very exciting.
I
'cause
don't know. Maybe I can ring. Oh, no, I don't have his thing.
Eli's got a segment to look forward to called The Wank Report. Now, Eli, like a lot
Wank
of us,
review, I think.
has been wanking lately. And so we're going to cross live to Eli as soon as we can get him up on the Skype to check in on how his wanks are going, what he's been wanking to, and pretty much how it's making him and his pecker feel. So if that sounds like it's up your alley, stick around. We're just going to work through these technical difficulties. While Tim's rigging that up, I'm going to check in with our poll happening on Twitter at @happening_show. What does the world need now? Well, after 113 votes, 54% of you seem to think the world needs to imagine all the people, while 46% of you think the world needs love. So keep those votes coming in, and please tell us your reasoning so that we have something to talk about. One person at Ted Mills has commented the world needs an enema, which was not a listed option, but is certainly a little bit, at worst, funny.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for that, Guy. I completely tuned out. I'm tuning out of most of what you're saying.
That's okay.
You're doing such a good job.
I am
keeping the wheels
entertaining
on this.
myself with nothing else.
You're entertaining the masses. We're going to try and get Eli on now. And I tell you what, this is probably going to take a painful minute live on air to figure
That's
out.
okay. I mean, I've got more. This is the beauty of the Coffee News.
I
It's
don't
the
even know if
newspaper that keeps on
people will
giving.
be able to hear you while we're doing this, but maybe they will.
Even when you think you're finished with it, you're not. So I'm going to tell you another thing that everybody's talking about, and you're going to love this. Amazing cakes. If the wedding cake is an important part of a couple's nuptials, how do you say that, Tim?
Nuptials. Your nuptials. You know?
Oh my gosh.
Are
Are we now live with Eli Mathewson?
Yeah, Eli, can you hear us?
I can hear you, yeah.
Okay,
And
cool.
we can hear you.
Well, I wonder if everyone can, though. Here we have Eli Mathewson.
Please fire us a comment in the comment section as to whether or not you can currently hear the great Eli Mathewson.
This is what I sound like. I'm talking right now.
Yeah, that's great. Because if you can,
Thank
that
you.
means that we're going to dive right into his hot segment. Eli, what are you calling this?
This is called the Wank Review. I forgot to write a title. Oh, like we're meant to have graphics, right?
We'll get them later. It's all good.
Eli's coming through loud and clear. So the
Oh,
wank,
look at that. Let me
wank
give
review.
it.
That's,
Should we give a
that's
hoon at this?
backwards, isn't it?
Wank Review with Eli Mathewson.
all right, Eli, what's happening in the world of you wanking?
Well, it's been a busy week, guys. I've been having a lot of fun. For context, me and my boyfriend are doing long distance at the moment. So he's living in Wellington, and he was meant to be coming up this coming Saturday, but unfortunately, all non-essential travel is banned and or strongly discouraged. And I had thought of emailing just to say, "Is me getting late essential?"
Well,
but
by the sounds of how your wanks have been going, Eli, it might not be.
let me read you some stats for today. Time, we're talking 4:51 to 4:59. Now, I always am a fan of an early afternoon, gives you a clear head for the rest of the day. You can focus, you've got that out of your system, and then you're ready. Videos 2, about the 6-minute march, skip through a little bit of them.
What were you
Distance
skipping
27.
through?
Just a position I didn't like.
So are you watching porn that has any sort of setup story? Are they establishing a world? Or are you just right down to business?
I like a little bit of business, but also I feel like the bane of the afternoon one is that there's a little bit of fear. Late at night you're not worried about anything. Mid afternoon you are a little bit worried about your flatmates knocking on your door, thinking, "Yoo-hoo, yeah, I'm cooking up a little chicken and do you want any of the chicken that I'm cooking?" And I don't want any of that, obviously. So I try and keep it tight. It's small.
Fantastic. And
don't
so
worry.
can I just, sorry to interject again there, that means that
Of
8 to
course.
9 minutes is a pretty quick wank in your books.
I think so. Yeah.
Say
Yeah,
you're
there's
talking
no-
about these sort of dreamy late night wanks where you're watching an entire movie that's got some really hot stuff sewn through it. How long would you take? Say 11 p.m., 12 a.m.
No, I mean no longer than 25 minutes, but I do like to warm that. I like to see some story.
25
I
minutes
like it.
is a hearty wank.
Is it?
I mean, I guess everyone's
think so.
different. I think so. I respect the hell out of you.
I will say I don't do that very often. The afternoon is my normal time
Yeah.
because I like to have no screens at night.
Do
You
you
know?
do different genres, like between the afternoon wanks and the evening wanks?
No. I'm mono-genre. The genre is gay. I like. Sometimes there's nice ones where they like a few where they like row a boat. They're rowing a boat down a lake, and one of them's like lying on the other one, and it's
Yeah.
just kind of nice and peaceful. And then like slowly, it's like whoa, the dick's out, and that's kind of nice for me. And that would be.
I'll bet you it's
So I
lovely
would-
for them as well.
Well, who knows? They're getting paid, so they're maybe they don't like it.
Quite risky.
Maybe they're just
Fucking
professionals.
on a little rowboat as well, you got to imagine.
Yeah, there's a high risk of nautical nonsense like capsizing and drowning.
There'd have to be a lot of physical coordination.
Yeah, or a very sturdy boat, and maybe they make boats specifically for that type of thing.
That's right.
Distance,
Yes,
18 centimeters.
you jizz 18 centimeters.
Yeah, and I'm
Is
giving
it,
it
what's PB for you, bud?
shoulder.
Sick.
Yours or his?
Mine. Well, then I'm confused about the question there because
Yeah.
then like
Well, what say you're having sex with someone from behind? I would imagine that the distance from where you're pulling out to ejaculate is longer than the distance from your own erect penis to your own shoulder.
I think we really need to remember the name of this segment, which is Wank Review. So I think my distance in a accompanied sexual encounter
You know
is actually relevant.
Yep, Eli, I apologize. I was way out of line then.
Yeah, thank you. 3 comes out of 5 today. Would go again.
Fantastic.
Yeah, probably will. Yeah,
Eli,
thank you so much.
Do you want to say anything else here while you're on? I tried to give you a Chiron, but it doesn't work for Skype, unfortunately.
Tim loves his chirons.
What are chirons? What is
It's like
that?
a lower third, like a little thing with your name on it.
Oh, that's cool.
And same way people
Um,
can find you on Twitter, which is at Eli Mathewson with 2 T's on Mathewson.
Yeah, and I don't. It's not all wank stuff.
Thanks, Eli.
Thank you so much for having me, and Godspeed. Love you both.
Okay.
All right, thanks,
love you.
Eli. Great to see you.
Bye.
Lovely to see you too. Bye bye.
So that was Eli Mathewson with the Wank Review and some really interesting numbers there. Obviously, 2 videos, skipped to a position he didn't like, 18 centimeter ejaculation.
18 centimeters.
strong.
Man. How does that compare? I'm trying to think of what 18 centimeters is. That's like a ruler. So
It's-
we're about there.
It's nothing to
It's not
sniff
that
at.
far.
Well, it's
Why
nothing
did
to, but to take the time to measure it and to come at us with the data, that's why he got the gig.
Yeah, I'd never think to do it, you see. So I'm coming in here with a full head of steam going, yeah, I could fucking ejaculate more than 18 centimeters. But can I? I don't fucking know.
Do
I can't
you
back
have the
that up.
guts to do the research? So that was Eli. Remember, if you want to Skype in live, you don't have to talk about wanking. You can talk about anything.
Yeah.
You have the opportunity. Tim does have a chiron down the bottom there. If you go to Skype and look up This Is Happening Show at gmail.com.
But also-
not immediately, but at some point we'll also throw to Skype and give you the opportunity to get
There's all the
involved
there's all the messaging.
in the conversation. We've also had, you'll be excited to hear, Tim, a few more votes and no comments on the poll. So that's a huge waste of time. No one's engaging with that. Thought it would be a nice idea. It's tanking. It's sinking like a lead balloon.
How many votes have we got on our Twitter poll?
113 votes. But, I've
That's
seen...
fuck all. Because they get heaps. I don't know why, but people love Twitter polls.
They get a lot of heat. They get a lot of love.
Sorry, our question again, just to remind
Reiterate,
everyone,
yeah.
if you've just joined in, the question that we posed to the world was, what does the world need now? Your options, love or to imagine all the people.
That's
and
right.
what's winning?
Still to imagine all the people, 54% to 46%, neck and neck. So if you feel passionately either way, it's not too late to have your say, get your voice heard. Voting is democracy. Now, I've got here in the rundown, Tim, our next segment, and this was a submission from someone who neither of us know. You don't know at all.
Is this Emily?
This is Emily, that's right. So this is
fabulous.
the beauty of the open source system that you're running with the email, thisishappeningshow@gmail.com. Anyone can submit any piece of art. And Emily Walker has submitted something. I've not seen it. Have you watched it? Have you verified it's okay?
Yeah, I've verified it's all good. And I've actually got the email from Emily, which I hope she doesn't mind my sharing. I wonder if I should read it before or after. I'm going to read it before. Hi, Tim. I doubt that this is the type of art you were looking for, but seeing as I did use this apocalypse time to make it, I thought I'd send it on. So I was asking for plague art, people's
Absolutely.
plague art. It's an Irish song called Una Ban. Oh, she's got a pronunciation guide. That's so good. Una Wan. That I sang on Paddy's Day from the self-imposed isolation of Dublin. The twist, it's actually about a guy who wants to have sex with a corpse. So here's Emily Walker. Take it away. Once again, the wonderful Emily Walker from Dublin.
That's right.
Singing an old, presumably Gaelic song about a man who wants to have sex with a corpse.
It's worth mentioning for context that due to technical reasons, Tim actually had the music turned down here in the studio, so I have no idea how that sounded.
It's haunting.
But certainly, a beautiful. It was beautiful. You told me it sounded beautiful.
Yeah, man.
So it's a beautiful submission. Thank you so much to Emily Walker, who did not attach anything to put on a chyron. Maybe
Don't
you
have
could put
a
her
chyron
email
for you.
address
I'm
up
so
there for the
sorry.
public.
I don't know if that's
Put her
probably
email up there.
the go.
I'll read it. I'll guess it. I don't have it in front of me, but I'm going to assume that she was an early adapter to Gmail,
Give
and
it a
she
go.
actually got out in front of it and got emilywalker@gmail.com.
You're close, but it's not it.
Okay, well, we'll find out her date of birth and we'll get that to you by the end of the show. Nothing to worry about in that respect.
Yeah, man.
Tim, can I check in? How are you going, man? This is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Are
having a
you
good
enjoying
time.
yourself? Is this how you imagine the show would run?
What I've done is I've just put the desk slightly too far away from myself, so there's some learnings to be had there. But I'm having a great time. I'm, popping a little leg out. From
You
the
are.
dressing
Dangerous
gown.
stuff.
It's good though. No, this is a lot of fun. This is obviously the first episode of what I imagine will be a lifetime of live streaming on the internet now.
Well, there's
getting
no
people's
telling
art in.
how long people will be,
Indoors.
and there's no telling how long you'll be allowed to have in-studio co-hosts, to
It's
be
in-
completely honest with you.
Yeah, it's that's true. That's true. But we'll figure it out.
Oh, there's always a way, isn't
There's
there?
always a way. Since the dawn of two cans on a bit of string, we've longed to communicate with each other over long distances, and now we finally have the technology to do it with vision. Well, we've had that for a while, but now I've got it.
That's right.
Like Prometheus stealing fire from the gods, Timbo has figured out streaming.
This is a dream of yours. When I said to Tim, "Are you sure you want to go live tonight? You don't want to take a bit longer, get it all right?" He said, "The fucking quality of some of the shit people are putting out there, absolutely not. I'm going to blow them out of the water. I'm going to blow their socks off." And in terms of production value, I've got to be honest with you, I think you are. I think you're doing a fantastic job. I'm not watching this. I don't know how it's coming across on people's computers or TVs, but in the studio it feels right. It feels good. I'm having a great time.
I can't wait to crack triple digits with the viewers, though. We've got 73 at the moment. It's hit a high of 81.
How long have we been broadcasting?
It did tell me, 45 minutes.
That's quite long.
Yeah, although
That's
the logo was up for about 5, so...
Okay.
Call it
Still,
40.
longer than an episode of Seinfeld, longer than 2 episodes of Seinfeld. And Seinfeld was a very popular and revered TV show.
And that's what it's all about, duration. How many Seinfelds is your show?
Is that the measure of success?
Absolutely. That's how you get a cracking TV show.
I didn't sign up for a marathon this evening, my man.
Yeah, me neither. But we might be doing one later.
Well.
Tease alert.
Oh, yeah. Actually, speaking of a teaser alert, one of these shows is also going to feature, and this is exciting, we don't know what date it's going to be, but we have permission to release The Hounds. And in this instance, The Hounds is the pilot that Tim and I made with an army of champions, which turned our worst idea of all time podcast format into a web TV show, I guess, for popular streaming platform. Should we say it?
Yeah, we can. We've had permission to spill the beans.
YouTube Red. We made a pilot for YouTube Red.
They don't exist anymore.
That's right. They as soon as we made the pilot, they said we're going to shut the whole channel down, and that's their loss. We had a lot of fun doing it, and we don't know when exactly, but one of these episodes we're going to release it in its entirety for you to enjoy at home. So that is something to look out for.
For sure.
Now, I've prepared another segment, if that's okay with you, Tim.
Jesus
and
Christ, look at this fucking man.
It's
He's
a bit of a
content
throwback.
machine.
When you used to come into TVNZ,
Oh, God, yeah.
you would do a segment called the Loo Review, where you'd come in and you'd review public restrooms. And I always thought that you were making a bit of a menace of yourself, because the last thing public restrooms needs is some guy fucking lurking around in there in a suit with a camera,
Probably
taking
something to that.
photos and checking out what the echo effect is,
Yeah.
seeing if the Wi-Fi signal's strong. But given that everyone's pretty much reduced to staying in their homes at all times right now, I thought I'd do a loo review of the loo at my place.
Are you serious?
Deadly.
I did a review of your loo once, and you got very mad about it.
You broke into my house without permission.
It was awesome. Your
It was
flatmates helped me. You were very put upon on live television.
Totally illegal.
God, it was good.
Anyway,
I loved it.
I've put together a slideshow that I'm hoping you'll have access to there, and I'd just like to
the slideshow.
to run you through a quick little loo review as told by Guy Montgomery. And this is the review of a loo in Mount Roskill. Not going to say exactly where. You got to be careful. You never know who's going to share your public information.
All right, now this is going to take me just a mo.
That's
'cause
okay.
This bit's tricky.
That's no worries at all. I actually didn't get to finishing my amazing cake story from the Everybody's Talking segment in the Coffee News here. So, Tim, I'll tell you this. If the wedding cake's an important part of a couple's nuptials? Fuck, I hate that
Oh,
word.
do you genuinely not know
If
how
the
to
wedding
say
cake
it?
is an
It's
important part of a
nuptials, my
couple's
man.
nuptials, the person to call is Renat Agzamov of Russia.
It can't be right.
The first sentence as it's written. A one-time boxer, this man has a love for making amazing creations. They can be as high as 4 meters and are elaborate no matter the theme. Agzamov has made castles with balconies, ice mountains, and rose-covered Roman pillars. He was only 7 when he made his first cake. In the early years, he worked at various bakeries to learn the secrets of the trade before striking out on his own. Today, thanks to social media, he fetches very large sums of money for his extraordinary cakes. So that's Renat Agzamov of Russia, and apparently everybody's talking about him over a cup of Java.
Fantastic. Well, Monty, on that note, I think hopefully we are ready for your loo review. Now, unfortunately, I don't have an intro for you.
That's okay.
But you want this first slide?
Please. So this is a view of the toilet as you're approaching it. the situation at home is bathroom to the immediate left if you're facing the toilet in this image, and then a wall, and then you got a solo toilet on the right. And I like that because often, if you're in a house where there's only one shared bathroom and it's got the shower and the toilet in it, it means that, people have a monopoly over the entire situation. But the way that this is set up, you can have a shit while your mate's having a shower, and you can sort of talk to each other through the wall, or you can keep it private. Totally user's choice. Can we just take another look at that toilet, please, Tim, before you move on? Just to go back to that first slide.
I reckon we can.
And so you can see there, you got a beautiful green on the walls, fantastic window out the back, a couple of extra rolls of TP. We've got a toilet paper subscription, so we haven't fallen prey to the global hysteria that is people buying up toilet paper.
Nice one.
And you'll see an interesting little sort of stool down there. I'll get to that a bit later on, so you can go ahead to the next picture now, please.
All right.
Now, this is what you're looking at as you are shitting. It's a blank white wall, but the previous owner of the house built in a magazine rack. Can you see that down there?
Holy smokes, that's ingenious.
And so you got a variety of reading materials there. You got some art journals, a New Yorker,
You know
a
what it
Ponsonby
makes me-
News snuck in there.
what it makes
Always
me
got a
think
coffee
of, though,
news in
Monty.
there. What does it make you think of?
There was an episode of Oprah Winfrey where she talked about shit particles being on everything in the bathroom.
Well, it's either a magazine or your phone, isn't it? And you're not carrying the magazines out into the world, but your phone that is covered in shit certainly is hidden out there. So this is a great way to make sure you stay offline while you're shitting. And, also Smokey the Bear up there saying only you can finish this poo. Because a lot of times people are going to ask for other people to come in and help out, and that's just irresponsible. Can I go to the next slide? Thank you, Tim. So this is me. I'm not actually shitting in this photo, but it's just sort of an image of what it would look like if I was.
It's beautiful.
The light streaming through. You'll notice I've got my isolation necklace on there. So that is a loop, an abandoned leg loop from an old pair of undies, funnily enough.
What's an isolation necklace?
Well, when I'm walking around the house, I just wanted to have something to put on my neck, and there were this tatty old pair of undies that my partner and I have been exchanging back and forth. And she
There's
got
so many questions, Big
she
Boy.
got-
It's like with every sentence, another 3 questions tumble into my head.
Well-
so first of all, we've got a concept called an isolation necklace. Now, is it a cause of or a byproduct?
it's a byproduct. So it's I
You're
was
in isolation and you thought, I'll make a necklace.
I didn't think I'd make a necklace. Chelsea thought she'd ruin my underpants.
Oh,
And
okay. that sounds like a euphemism for some heinous sexual activity.
well,
Me and the
sadly,
missus are just going to ruin each other's underwear.
sadly not in this instance. No,
I see.
An old rotten pair of underpants, a daggy pair of underpants that were due to be biffed out. Actually, one of the same pairs I described earlier in the show as at the time being an A+.
Yeah.
So she sort of tore them to bits. I retrieved one of the leg loops, turned it into an isolation necklace, and that's what you can see me
Nice.
wearing there.
I'll
Now,
go back to this photo because it is beautiful.
That's right.
The
And if you
light
actually-
streaming in there, you look positively angelic
you.
on the John.
So if you go ahead to the next slide, you'll get a little video, just a simulation, if you will.
Now, I'm not sure if the audio will come through, but here's hoping. You dick.
What does it say?
It says I have to request access from you to play it.
Oh no. Well, I can grant that.
The good news is I've requested it. So
Where will that come through?
Oh, who's to say? You already have a Gmail account you sent it from, I think. But in the meanwhile, I'm just going to marvel at this beautiful photo of you again.
Well, what do you? I
because
mean,
it
you
is
used to review
tremendous.
toilets. What are some of the things that we should be looking out for?
Look, you want Wi-Fi strength? That is absolutely critical, and I'm going to
Wow.
guess that because it's a residential abode, you've got some pretty strong internet.
One of the benefits of shitting at home is you do have the option to use Wi-Fi, and it's strong. It's strong.
5 out of 5, 4 out of 5.
I give it 5 out of 5. From the toilet around the whole house, the Wi-Fi is incredibly powerful.
What about ambiance?
Ambiance, I give it another 5 out of 5. Beautiful green walls, piece
What?
of art that's going to be hung in there.
Well, the tables have turned briefly. Guys, just doing some fiddling to give me access to this film. And in the meanwhile, while he does, I mean, this is just a beautiful turn of events, folks, because back in the day when Monty and I started our professional and personal relationship together, nigh on, I don't know, I want to say about 8 years ago, it was me rolling in there nice and hot with some prepared materials, a bucket full of ideas, and a sparkly eye full of hope and talent, and Monty having to wrestle with the enthusiasm that I was bringing in and technical requirements that I was asking. But now, in the year of our Lord 2020, all it took was a global pandemic. I've switched things up on him.
That's right. Well, while I navigate this, for the sake of a throwback, actually, why don't you play down the original segment? This is not this is a piece of
mate.
history, insofar
This isn't
as
an actual TV station. You can't just throw shit at me.
well,
Oh
I'm
my
just suggesting it
God.
because I can't figure out how to give you access, and this will buy me 5 minutes.
Okay, cool, man. Cool. I'll definitely be able to get that.
I want more than anything for you to have permission to watch this video of me pretending to take a shit.
Did a thing come through to you?
I didn't get any emails.
All right, that's all good. So what we're going to play for you now, folks, God willing, is a trip down memory lane. You're about to see the first ever episode of the Lou Review, and the Lou Review, as I mentioned earlier, is how we met.
It is.
And maybe it's already. It exists somewhere. Hold on.
I'm holding on. I mean, I can go
I
back
mean
to the...
pad.
Yeah, I'll
They have to hold on.
Okay. Well, I'll just go back to the coffee news. There's more stuff everybody's talking about. You thought that people were limited to talking just about a man in Russia who makes cakes and a man in Brighton who dresses like he's in the 1800s? No way, Jose. What about this for a headline? Wood Creations. An artist from Spain has perfected a way to create extremely realistic animals by sculpting wood. I don't think that they created that. Gerard Mass chisels forms out of logs and then uses sandpaper to get the finish he wants. His sculptures include Siamese cats, bulldogs, Dobermans, German shepherds, and piglets. For darker fur tones, he uses a blowtorch to char the wood. The artist is also known for mixing 15th century figures with modern elements, such as a woman wearing Renaissance garb who has a suntan line on her shoulders. Can you imagine such a world? A woman in Renaissance garb with a suntan line.
Truly.
Seems pretty fucking unlikely to me.
No,
So that's
it's
Gerard Mass. That's everybody's
sexy.
talking. Apparently, that's something everybody's talking about.
Okay, Guy, we're going to do a trip down memory lane now with the first ever Lou Review. Now, the resolution on this is going to be...
Touch and go?
It's going to be ancient because this is from back in the day, being bounced around a lot. Here we go. Everybody, welcome to the first ever Lou Review. If it works.
Welcome back to You Late. I'm joined on the couch by an inappropriately well-dressed man named Tim Back.
Guy, how are you?
I'm great. I'm slightly befuddled by your presence here. What is this?
Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Lou Review, where I take a little time every week to let people know what toilets they should be visiting and what ones they shouldn't. I feel like it's a bit of a public service. I spend a lot of time in Lou's. We all do.
It sounds like a great blog.
Well, maybe a better TV segment, and maybe that's why I'm here.
Maybe that is. We've got a sting for you all prepped up, Tim. So from what I can discern, this involves you dressing up in a suit.
That was a lush intro, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
lush.
Okay, match the suit. I'll give you that. You dress up in a suit and you just go parading around these public restrooms.
Well, parading,
taking
reviewing, analysing.
photos. You're walking into bathrooms in a suit and taking.
What I'm doing,
Is
Guy,
this legal, Tim? Can
Well,
we be broadcasting this?
Okay, here's the thing. I'm not 100% sure on the legality. Let me open with that. But what this is a public service. I'm assessing these toilets.
Okay.
I'm analysing the
And
bathrooms.
so, what bathroom specifically have you?
First things first. All right. There's some set criteria that I'm going to be looking for every week when I go through and look at these toilets.
I'm not actually shitting right now, Tim, but as you can see through this virtual experience, that there's a squatting stool in here to help the release of the turds.
In fact, fuck, I think our mics have been off for a little while.
Oh, it's okay. You live and you learn.
We're all doing it, aren't we?
Can people hear us now?
Yeah, hopefully. Who's to say? Yeah, no, they probably can now.
Yeah, so there's a squatting stool in there. I feel like the segment's really lost momentum.
Oh God, I've dropped my beer. It's all going on.
I reckon let's take a moment. Let's throw to a pre-recorded segment. Let's gather ourselves and figure out how to ride this baby home.
Absolutely not, because this is what streaming is all about. This is exactly the point that you seize and you hold on to.
This
now,
is?
where have I spilt the beer?
People
Below
don't
the
want to
whiskey.
watch you dealing with a spilt beer. They want to watch Chris Parker.
Is Chris what? Does Chris Parker want to jump on?
No.
Oh, we've got a bit from him. I forgot.
That's right.
What a fucking treat, too.
It's a fantastic segment.
Oh, I didn't load it in the little
I don't even need to top load the intro for this, I don't think.
Yeah, but you need to because I didn't load it in.
Oh, in which case I will. Now, Chris Parker understands a lot of people in the world are currently working from home, which means that they're missing out on a lot of the pleasures and joys of working at the office, you know, building that routine. Probably some of you have got great friendships in your office. Some people you might like to see. Some of you might not. You might be, glad to be away from them. Chris Parker's got you covered with a little segment he calls Chris Parker provides banal office Chris Parker provides banal office banter you try to avoid for those working from home.
That would have worked perfectly if you could see the screen, but then here it is.
Working hard or hardly working? You'll be working hard. Me, this joker on the other hand, fire him already. What's he up to? Is he just putting his finger up his ass? Oh, God, is it? Is it Friday already? Bring on the weekend. I'm exhausted. We've done enough here. Let's just call it off. The school's out. Everyone. So I will leave you to it. Just waiting for the jug to boil. Oh, don't. Fiona and I went to a pub quiz the other night. So yeah, it was. I have not done a pub quiz in a while. It was pretty wild. Yeah, it was fun. So I'm not much of a drinker. Well, I was a bit of a drinker back in the day, but I would just black out and then I'd wake up, in a weird place and think, where the hell am I? Be like, I can't call Fiona, my phone's not on me. And then I'd think, where's my phone? And then, oh, there it is, locked up in a box. And there's a lock on it. And the room, there's three keys in the room. And I have to pick the right keys. So, and then it's thinking, oh God, who put this blindfold on me? Where, how am I gonna, how do I even know that the keys were in here when I had the blindfold on? Because of the audio description, because of the voice that's coming through the speakers that's saying, there are 3 keys in this room. You are blindfolded. You have to find the correct key. Yeah, so that is definitely why I lay off the old booze for a bit. Don't worry, obviously it got out. Obviously, here I am. Or maybe this is a sort of virtual reality thing. Maybe this is Truman Project, Truman Show, the Truman Experience, and this is all part of that very terrifying, isolating experience that I had in that garage up north. I did find the right key. but it cost me a finger. No, they sewed it back on. It's amazing what they will do with prosthetics nowadays. Are you much of a prosthetics kind of person, or no? Hey, I will leave you to it, and I will get back to the ball and chain. Not Fiona, just my desk. That's the. Well, I'm more chained to it, and I guess the desk is the ball. Anyway, I'll leave you to it. But nice to see you again, and keep up the good work, and flick me an email, or you can come down to my end of the office if you wanna. I'll leave you to it. All right.
Fuck, I hope that was good. Genuinely couldn't hear it. It looked great, though.
That's right. As always here, we don't hear what we're broadcasting.
But I did video that earlier today, and it was very good.
You're a jack of all trades. You're working hard for the people, and I respect the hell out of it.
Screw that. This is Chris's moment. Oh, where's Chris's Chiron? I didn't fucking make one.
I can tell people, if you want to follow Chris on Instagram, and he's got a very soothing Instagram. He's recently gotten into something. I don't even know the word for it. He's making sort of little animals.
You stab things enough times and then an animal appears.
He's at Chris Parker 11, and he's a great follow. He's a lovely guy. So definitely worth a look. And a huge shout out to you, Tim, for working so hard on that. Who did the intro for that segment? Can you remember?
Thomas Cottle.
At TomasCottle on Instagram.
I'm trying to remember his website. It's Oh, he's watching. Thomas, tell us your website so we can put it up.
That's right. Now, Tim is very excited by the idea of going to the Skype line at this point.
Ringing, though. It's like my radio career all over again. Truly is.
No one's ringing, but that's okay because
lines are open, callers.
The good news is that people have started commenting on the polls. After I'd written it off, the polls taken off like a fucking rocket, my man. Well, it's only got 144 votes, but the important thing is people have started commenting.
That is important.
So at Malexi1 has voted for love because we don't need the bougies singing about imagining everybody. Interesting. An interesting vote. Atlas Zeth has written, how about we get the Tim and Guy's rendition of John Lennon's classic hit, Imagine. Would that breach copyright law?
Oh, who's to say? But also, who would want that actually? I know that we say a lot of things in jest, but truthfully, does anyone want that? I don't think so.
And at Cult Popture, with friend of the show, Alexander Jones's Enterprise, has submitted a pretty lengthy answer, which says, I voted for To Imagine All the People, but I feel like that doesn't adequately convey my position. What I really think the world needs now is to imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Yeah, and then he wrote a whole other tweet with the rest of the lyrics. So keep those votes coming in. Currently, To Imagine All the People still leading at 54.9% of the vote, up against Love with 45.1%. The question, of course, is what does the world need now? And what we need right now is literally anyone to Skype into the studio, please.
That's so good. How are you never in radio?
Get on Skype.
Get a promo
look
career.
up This Is Happening Show at gmail.com. We will take a call from anyone right now. This is incredible. What a fucking phenomenal opportunity. I feel like it's breakfast time in London, so any commuters there who aren't commuting, who are at home thinking...
Hey, hold on for a second. I got to shout out Thomas Cottle's website is www.sick-days.com. Cannot stress enough how talented this man is at art. It's
hey,
so good.
give him a Chiron, you piece of shit.
All right, coming right up.
And the rest of you, get on Skype. Give us a bell. Tell us what you had for dinner. This is happening show at gmail.com.
This is off the rails, mate. We could do literally anything. We're on the internet, and you're going, what have you eaten recently?
I'm just trying to get someone on the phone line. I'm doing this to
Fair
appease
enough.
you,
Yeah, I
my
hear you.
terrifying technical overlord.
This is what the
Look,
people wanted. The
you wanna
boys
get
to
on-
turn on each other.
You want to get on Skype? I've got one other piece of everybody's talking from the coffee news here,
Go on.
and I've been sitting on. Did you say yawn?
I said go on.
Yeah, I will go on. Why don't you go on and fucking enjoy it? I'm going to turn on you if you're not careful, boy.
I think you might have already.
Now, the headline for this one is hot. Can I get a single, please? What is this?
Yeah, right.
Goddamn amateur hour. Hot stuff is the headline for this.
That's too many Chiron.
This is really good. So, hot stuff. First of all, I'll tell you what's hot stuff is Thomas Cottle's website. Have a look at that. The guy is phenomenal at design. In fact, if you go to the wide here, you can see this poster here, which was for our London live show and the London Podcast Festival. Tom did that incredible, terrifying, haunting piece of design.
It was unsolicited originally too. He just sent us the original version of this fucking nightmare Adam Sandler face coming at you. Okay, we've got a call from Skype.
That is what I'm talking about.
It's loud. Okay.
I still haven't managed to get to my hot stuff segment, but don't worry, viewers. I will get to it before the show is through.
Oh my word.
Who have we got? Oh, wow.
Do you know what, man?
Really?
I brought this on my fucking self.
If you're using Skype, if you're on the Skype call, please mute the
You've got to
live
use
stream.
headphones. I cannot stress this enough. You must use headphones.
Mute the live stream and talk to us on Skype.
That would be so tremendous. Thank you very much. And really something that I should have led with. All things being equal.
All right. I'm excited to learn who we're talking to.
Who do we have on the line?
Hello.
Hello.
G'day. Who's this?
Oh, hey. My dog is triggered by the word hello. She thinks there's someone here.
Must
She's
be
very
long enough
excited.
for your dog then. Does hello always go into that response?
Oh, just when she thinks there might be someone new here. Oh, she's gone. Wendy, hey,
Oh, you got
come
a
say
video
hi.
switcher too, I see. That's pretty hot
Yeah,
shit.
incredible
Here I
camera.
was thinking I had the monopoly on changing angles, but look at you fucking pro.
Oh, what a beautiful dog. Can I ask who we're talking to and where we are talking to you?
I'm Emily. I'm from Adelaide.
Oh, Adelaide, South Australia.
Adelaide, South Australia. That's it.
And how's your evening going, Emily?
Everything's okay. We're at home. Don't technically have to be at home yet, but we're just deciding to be.
I think that's a sensible choice. I say that as someone who is in a different person's garage. But I stand behind your right to stay at home, Emily.
Hey,
And-
Emily, were you leading up to a question? Or
No,
can I
you take
bulldoze in
You
here?
bulldoze in, please.
Oh, shit, Emily, I can't hear you for some reason. Oh, no, I can.
I'm just not saying anything.
Oh, you're fantastic. Sorry. I've got you in 3 windows, and one of them is the live stream, and one of them's the Skype, and it's all on for young and old. Emily, what I want to know is what cool, fun shit have you been doing while you've not been at work or doing your normal routine? You been doing anything fun?
Yeah. Called my grandma. That was good. Don't do that every day. My husband made a dal for dinner.
Oh, how did the dal
We got a VR headset, and then I played on that a lot.
That is very cool. Have you got PlayStation 4, PC? What kind of headset have you got?
PC. We've got an Oculus Rift. I've gone to the dark room. So
no denying that is a dark room, Emily. I'd just like to, while you're in the dark room trying to find the Oculus Rift, I'd like to circle back to that dal your husband cooked for dinner. How did that come out? Was that to your liking?
it was pretty good. He started cooking it yesterday, like soaking beans for it, or lentils or whatever is in dal. And then he made it all day today, and it was fine.
Jesus Christ, that is a savage review to hear that someone put 24 hours into a meal and you have described it both as pretty good and fine is absolutely gut-wrenching. Is he a confident cook? Is this something that he would usually do? Is he taking advantage of the free time on his hands?
No, he likes dal a lot. It's good. He made, yeah.
Is the issue that perhaps you don't like dal as much as your husband does?
That might be the issue. But also there was some homegrown chilies in it that we picked from our chili plant, which was nice. I don't know why I called. You just said someone please call, so I called. I didn't have really anything to say.
No, Emily, are you kidding me?
But,
you're generating some red hot content, and there's a huge element of wish fulfillment for Tim here. All he has wanted for the entirety of this show is for anyone to call in. And
That's
Emily,
true.
for you to rise to the occasion like that, it fills my heart with joy. I can't describe how Tim's feeling.
Are you
Tim?
kidding me? You've dropped two of the most sensational nuggets you could have dropped for these particular gentlemen. Number one, some delicious dal has been cooked up. So we've got Guy's culinary
Sorry, that was-
interest whetted, and also you've dropped that you've got a tasty little Oculus Rift, which has sure got my imagination as well. I want to know
Put
what
it on.
games you've got. What have you been playing? Are we going to... what was that fucking game that sucked and then they remade it and now it's good?
Sonic, the movie.
Oh, I don't know.
And the Skies thing. Endless Skies?
Skies. Adam, what's the Skies Rift thing? We've been playing Beat Saber, which is like where you play Guitar Hero with lightsabers, which
That
is
rules.
pretty rad. And then we've been playing Vader Immortal is very good, which is another lightsaber game. It's mostly just an excuse to use lightsabers. Or there's a game called Super Hot, which you don't need a VR to play. You can play it normally, and that in VR is very good.
Emily, perhaps I could just circle back to the dal. What's the longest you've spent preparing a meal for your husband, and how did he receive that?
What's the longest I've spent with my husband?
Spent
Sorry?
preparing a meal. Have you ever put 24 hours into a dal or an equivalent dish?
No, I would say I have not put any effort into cooking ever in our relationship.
Emily, as a stand-up comedian, I know it's always important to end on a high, and I don't think it's going to get much sweeter than that. So thank you so much for giving us a ring. You've made my dreams come true, and I hope that the dal gets better from here on in.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Keep
Emily.
on-
See ya.
Wow.
That was fucking cool.
Now that we've gotten rid of that rude interruption, I can finally get to the hot stuff segment of the Everybody's Talking section of the Coffee News. Now, this says that people who love eating hot food, maybe Emily or Emily's husband Adam, perhaps if they're growing their own chilies, will be interested in this. People who love eating hot, spicy food might want to try, with caution, a gummy bear dubbed Little Nitro. Made by Flamethrower Candy of St. Louis, Missouri, USA. This cute little candy bear must be eaten carefully as it rates 9 million units on the Scoville hotness scale. Tim, how hot is that?
I don't know. 9 million sounds like a lot. I'm not that familiar with how it all stacks up.
Compare that to one of the hottest peppers out there, the Carolina Reaper, which has a rating of about 2.2 million units.
Oh boy.
The manufacturers use chili pepper extract to give the candy its high heat level. It's probably safe to assume that most people don't eat handfuls of this confection.
I reckon they've created a biological weapon, but because they've been outlawed because of the Geneva Convention, they're like, it's a lolly.
Yeah.
Don't worry about us. We're making candy here.
Any way you slice it, therethere's no denying that it is something that everybody's talking about. And I've just noticed on the left-hand side, in one of the ads taken out in the Coffee News, is an ad for none other than Scientology. Huh? Who are you anyway? Where do you come from? What will happen to you? Looking for answers?
Yep.
Here's the book you need. Open the doors to a new beginning where you can play the game of life with confidence and success. So anyone looking for sort of a new lease, a new take, it's only a $30 book, and you can head along to scientology.co.nz/store/. Do not mess around with these guys. They take shit very seriously.
Cool.
How
I
you
would
going?
like everyone to know that No Man's Sky is the name of the game.
Oh,
I was trying to think of, and also I was just a bit gassy because I've downed a beer too quickly.
I also see that Facebook user on the happening in the comments has written, "Ask Guy why he hates Adelaide." I don't have anything against Adelaide. I haven't been there yet. Okay, that doesn't mean I hate it. It just means that it's something that hasn't happened. And Jordan, I love the campaign you're running. I love your insistence that I hate your place of residence, but I've got nothing against Adelaide. If I had it my way, I'd be there right now. But obviously, with the travel ban and whatnot, it's just not on the cards in the immediate future. How are you going? How's your engine, Tim?
Yeah, really good. I think it's almost time for us to wrap this live stream up.
I totally agree.
And I've just realised that I haven't loaded in something that I've been looking forward to literally the whole show, and we were going to save this till last. So I put the word out there, the solicit, to be like, if you've got some art that you've been working on, I would love for you to send it in to us so that we can kind of, share it together and all get in on this. Oh, fuck you. It's doing that thing where it's not working. I'm going to just chance it and hope that this works and try and maybe Hold on. What's the guy's name again? That's right. Maybe that's what's not working.
I know what his name is.
Scott.
Yeah.
Scott sent in to us a beautiful bit of art that he's made, and I fucking hope and pray that this works. So we'll come back after to wrap up the show, but
in the meantime,
if this works, from Scott Pendleton.
No, this isn't something I usually do, but given our times and where we're at right now, I figured I'd share a vulnerable side of me and share a little poetry with y'all. And well, I hope you enjoy it. Guess who just got back today? Them wild-eyed boys have been away. Haven't changed that much to say, but man, I think them cats are crazy. They were asking if you were around, where you was, where you could be found. I told them you were living downtown, just driving all the old men crazy. The boys are back in town. 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 I remember that chick who used to dance a lot. Every night she'd be on the corner shaking what she got. When I said she was cool, I mean she was red hot. I mean she was steaming. That time over at Johnny's place, that chick just got up and she slapped Johnny's face. Man, we just fell about the place. And if that chick don't want to know, forget her. The boys are back in town. 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 Friday night we'll be dressed to kill. Down at Dino's Bar and Grill. The drink will flow and the blood will spill. If the boys want to fight, you better let them. That jukebox in the corner blasts out my favorite song. The nights are getting longer, it won't be long. Won't be long until the summer comes, now that the boys are here again. The boys are back in town. The boys... That's emotional. The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. Down, now. Down, now, now, now. Down, now, now, now. Down, 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 now. Down, now, now, now. Down, now, now, now. Down, down, down.
I don't know about you guys, but that shit fucking got me. I didn't get to hear it that time because of our audio situation, but god damn, I was stoked when Scott sent that in. And he did email me back, actually, so I should check.
I've got his. If you want to put up a Cryon, I've got
Chiron.
Yeah,
I might be saying it wrong though. To be fair,
it's at Scott Penn.
Oh yeah, I'll do one of those. Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Why not? End it on a high. Why not go out the way we came in? That is almost it for the first episode of Happening. Tim, I got to say, from one friend to another, my sincere congratulations on building and executing this, from having the sheer amount of technical equipment and know-how and drive and engine to get it going.
That's not Scott Pendleton, by the way, folks. You got to put it on the left or the right.
I'm trying to be sincere with you here. I'm blown away by it, and it's been a lot of fun. I think you're doing a really good thing here, and long may it continue. I mean, it's amazing to me. You've built a television studio in your garage, and you're in a dressing gown, and I'm in a suit.
We're having fun.
We're having fun. That's right, and I love that.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Behind the scenes, it took a little bit of sweat and chutzpah, but we got there.
That's right. And I didn't get to finish my Lou review, but I want to say that all the amenities got a whopping 5 stars.
Oh, it's on screen now. Look at that.
And including the Wi-Fi. And while I did champion reading magazines on the toilet, I just want to show you what you can do with the strength of the Wi-Fi on the toilet. So please play the video. We can talk over it. It's got no audio.
Oh, okay.
You might want to read it though.
I read the video. Like read along. Was infected bat with COVID-19. I mean, why would it even be on Google, man?
Yeah, it wasn't. Certainly worth a look though.
Oh, this keeps going. This has been recorded. Good gag, mate. Solid fucking gag to end the show.
Yeah, look, I like that as much fun as the next person. Tim, thank you so much.
A pleasure.
To everyone,
literally couldn't do this with anyone else. So remember, everybody, listen. Things are a little bit different at the moment. 'Tis true. We've got to look out for each other. We've got to look after each other. You got to figure out what you're good at. Are you a doctor? No. Then maybe don't give medical advice. Are you a scientist? No. Then maybe don't give science advice. But are you a silly bugger who can make crazy art online? Fucking do that. You know, send it to us. Send it to us. Here is, oh no, I've done the joke one too many times. But you can email thisishappeningshow@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. All the accounts are there, although I have a funny feeling they've locked the Instagram account. Don't even know why. Thought I was doing a good thing. You guys have been great. Thanks for joining us. Thanks to Emily for being our first Skype caller. Eli, it's more of a segment, you understand, so it's not quite the same.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun. Keep those submissions coming in. Tim, hats off to you, man. You've done a great thing.
We'll be back in a couple of days, I reckon. Can't make on too much about how good a job we've done. We'll see you in the next one, which hopefully will be even better. Until then, this is like a Skype call. I don't know how to
end no, that's what I wanted to do. Just before we go, I just wanted to wrap up the poll.
Okay.
So, 0 minutes left. The poll's finished, everybody, at 10:35 p.m. on Sunday, the 22nd of March in Auckland, New Zealand. My congratulations and hats off to the question, what does the world need now? The options were love or to imagine all the people. Imagine all the people snuck in 53.4% of the vote. Love 46.6%. The poll. It was all about the poll. Wow, that was a lot of fun. I'm sweaty. I'm tired, but I feel good.
Time to go home, have some lovely dreams, and we'll see you again. Hopefully in like 2 days, I reckon. We'll do another one of these. Don't know if Guy will be here. Hopefully he is, because, hats off to you, mate. You did a great job.
Hopefully.
I stand by it.